I think for me, it's mainly like movies and TV shows and stuff, just because I could turn on the TV and see like an old episode of a show that I haven't watched in a really long time and be like, "Oh my gosh, it's back on TV. That's so crazy." As opposed to like, I don't know, I feel like I hear a lot of the songs that I heard like when I was a kid like pretty frequently just because they like play them on the radio like for throwback playlists and stuff. So I feel like I get more of a shock like when I'm like, "Oh wow, I haven't seen that TV show in a while," because I feel like it's less frequent.
I feel like films you can relate, but music you relate more to, and like you memorize more. Like, let's say like you're in fifth grade and someone keeps playing a song over and over again with an event, you memorize that song easier than the movie, because movies is pictures and like it's easier to memorize lyrics.
I would probably say film, um, purely from like a scientific standpoint. Like you're just utilizing more of your senses. So like I feel like if you're like seeing a film and like listening to it, as opposed to just music is more listening as opposed to like seeing. I mean, it depends how like you imagine things or whatever. I feel like you can more easily associate films with memories than music per se. Not to say that you can't with music though, because I mean we all like memorize like words to a song and then you remember it like 20 years later and you're like, what? Like how do I still know that? So yeah, I'd say both are pretty powerful.
Let's see. I kind of had an experience where me and my boyfriend were trying to figure out what we were going to be for Halloween, and he came up with the idea of Dexter and Dee Dee from Dexter's Laboratory because he's a redhead, and I'm like, oh my god, that's a show I really haven't thought about in a while. And then like sometimes I'll just get into random conversations with my friends and just be like, oh, do you remember this show that was a thing? And I'm like, oh my god, I do. It's been so long since I've like seen episodes of it though. So like moments like that.
Hmm. Let's see. I watched Pinocchio, and it reminded me of when I used to watch it when I was little. So that was one experience.
I would say nostalgic experiences. I mean, yeah, like sometimes you hear a song. Actually, yes. When you hear like a song that like played at like one of those middle school or high school like dances, and you're like, ugh. You're first of all you're like that's my jam, but then you're also like, wow, I hate myself a lot, because you start like rocking out to it. But yeah, probably a lot of those scenarios where you're like scarred from it, but it was also like a good time. So why not?
I remember distinctly like my mom, like when we used to watch Lion King as a kid with my mom, like I would make her like hold me up like I was Simba, and like we would bow like with the giraffes and stuff during like the opening scene. I don't know. That's just like a good childhood memory that I have. So like that's definitely like something that I relate to.
Well, yeah, memories of watching it with my parents and my sister and brother. That's the only one I have.
Well, definitely my childhood, because I watched The Lion King when it was like a VHS, like back in those days. But I would say the biggest memory I have with The Lion King is probably it was my older brother's favorite movie, and like he would watch it like 24/7 when he was like a little kid, and like I was basically like a toddler, like an infant toddler. um, and like that's probably the biggest thing. I can just remember like watching it all the time, probably from the ages of like 2 till like 6. Like it was always on in our house. And like not even like the plot, like I guess I remember the plot sort of, but like just the thought that it was like his favorite movie is like always what I think about when I think about Lion King immediately. Yeah.
See, for Disney, it's like all music for me. Like I could hear a Lion King song and just be like, yes, I know it like by heart. Like, but I mean, there are still like distinct scenes where I like know the dialogue like by heart. But in that particular case, I think I know the music a lot better than I know the dialogue. But then in like other movies, like I could recite Beauty and the Beast like probably word for word, as of like where that's like probably more like big interplay for me than the music is. I mean, I love the music in Beauty and the Beast, but for me, like I know like the dialogue like very very much so.
I would say it's a little bit of both, honestly. I think about the like I just can't wait to be king song, like because that's like it's always in your brain. But like the scene with like Simba, I think it was Simba. He like watched his dad die, Mufasa, I think was the name. Yeah. And like that scene where he's like watching his dad die and like like the antelopes or whatever. Like that was some powerful that was some powerful imagery there. It's like I very much remember that one. And like the Timon and Pumbaa song when they're like distracting the hyenas, like I can remember those like very vividly. And like the only song I can really remember is like that I just can't wait to be king song. So again, like I can remember them very vividly, but I would say like those scenes I can like really like picture. Even like right now, I'm just like thinking of them. Very emotional.
I think I would probably feel very like I don't know. I feel like I would as I've grown older and like grown up, I feel like I found a lot of different meaning like in a lot of the things that I watched when I was a kid, like a lot of symbolism and like stuff that I never really noticed before. So I think if I was regularly exposed to like nostalgic things like music and movies and stuff, I think I would eventually like just find a lot more deeper meaning in a lot of it, as opposed to just like watching it once like every like few years or so and being like, oh wow, I really love that movie.
Yeah, it would change. If I watch it every week, then like it won't be as special to me. It won't have as big meaning as like it usually does. And if I watch it like every other week, I'll just get tired of it and stop watching it completely and would never want to watch The Lion King again. If someone plays a song over and over again, I like start to hate that song, even though I used to like it. And then let's say I hate the song and someone plays it over and over again, I might start to like it. But it depends on the song too. And if I actually like that song, I don't like songs being overplayed.